Good morning guys and welcome to Vlogmas week 2. It is Sunday the 8th of December today and I've got a bit of a hectic day because I've got a few things going on, but this morning I'm super happy because I ordered some festive bed sheets, which is these ones which have like the lovely Christmas trees on. I wanted something that wasn't like super in your face and was still quite like white and simple but definitely festive, and they arrived yesterday, so I'm just going to pop these on the bed and then I'm getting straight ready to go out because I'm off for coffee with my stepdad and my sister. Putting bed sheets on is such a palaver. It honestly always takes so much longer and it feels like a workout, but we did it and we now have festive bed sheets, which I'm so happy about. Hey guys, so it's been a little while now. I went out for coffee with my stepdad and my sister, which was really nice, particularly because a Cafe Nero has just opened up near us, and I love Cafe Nero, but usually I have to travel to get to one, and I like it. I think it's better than Costa and Starbucks. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, we went there and I got just a cup of tea, but then they also had a vegan ginger cake, which was really nice. And now I've just gotten ready because it was my grandma's 80th birthday this week, so my brother and I are taking her to Betty's for afternoon tea because it's a really nice thing. And also Betty's do a vegan afternoon tea, so my brother and my grandma are just getting the normal one, but I'm getting the vegan one, and I'm super excited to try it because I've had vegan scones but I've never had a full-on vegan afternoon tea before, so I'm super excited to try that. So yeah, I'll show you everything that we get because I'm sure it's going to be super delicious. So we just got back from afternoon tea and honestly it was so nice. It was very expensive, but then the place was so fancy and everything was really lovely, and I definitely feel like in a lot of places if you ask for a vegan afternoon tea you might lose out from a lot of stuff, but they had like a direct alternative for pretty much everything. So the vegan one was such good value for money because you just got just as much as you did with the normal one. And I also got, as my tea while I was there, they had this festive Christmas spice tea which was like cinnamony and citrusy, and it tasted so good that I had to go into the shop afterwards and got myself a box of the tea bags because it was honestly the nicest tea I think possibly that I've ever had. So I had to get myself some of this, especially because it's seasonal, so they probably won't have it in a few weeks. But yeah, really excited to have a cup of this later. But for now, I'm just going to jump in the shower and just chill out for the evening, and if I decide to pick up a book I'll definitely let you know which one I start reading. Morning guys, so it's now Monday and I'm just currently getting ready for work, but to be honest I definitely do not feel energized and ready to go out for work this morning because over the weekend I did a 24-hour readathon and I'm still recovering from sleep deprivation. I swear to God, it takes me so long to get back up and running after we've like had a night of not really sleeping much because I'm just an old lady and I need like at least 10 hours sleep to fully function, so I'm still recovering, but getting ready for work. And I just thought I'd let you know which book I'm going to be picking up this week, because I'm actually taking part in a readathon this week called the 'Tis the Season Holiday Readathon, which is part of the We Be Bookin' book club over on Facebook. I'll put the details down in the description below, but basically it's just a fun week-long festive readathon, and the first book I'm picking up is one I'm super excited to start, and that is We Met in December by Rosey, which is also one of the like group books for this month on the book club as well, so it's handy to be able to tick both off. But basically this is like a dual narrative style story about two people, Jess and Alex, who meet because they're housemates in December, as the title suggests, and then I think there's kind of like an ongoing romance for the next year. But I'm really excited to read this one because it sounds like a really fun holiday romance, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, but I won't be able to pick it up until my lunch break, so I just thought I'd fill you in and let you know that I will be picking this one up later today. But for now, just getting ready for work. And I also thought that I would show you, because I feel like this morning is like the perfect winter morning. It really is not showing up well on camera, but the sky is just so clear and blue, and I can tell it's going to be freezing outside, but I love it because nothing makes me more sad than when it's cold and cloudy, because then you just don't want to go outside at all, whereas at least if it's freezing cold but looks really beautiful outside, you at least kind of want to go outside. So yeah, heading out for work, and I will catch up with you later on this evening. Hey guys, so it's now Tuesday evening and I feel like I haven't had much time to talk to you or show you anything festive over the past couple of days, because basically I've just been at work both Monday night and this evening. I had to stay late at work for various things that we had going on, but tonight was like a team meeting and we also had to wear Christmas jumpers, so that is why I'm wearing this delightful Christmas jumper. But alongside all of the work I've been doing, I have been reading some of my book for the 'Tis the Season Holiday Readathon. I've been reading We Met in December, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm about 75 pages in so far, and I feel like I already mentioned that this is a dual narrative story about a girl called Jess who moves to London to kind of like change up her life and kind of like seize life and try and sort of do something fun and spontaneous. So she moves in with her friend who has just inherited a house, and that means that Jess can get rent in Notting Hill in a really nice house for super cheap amount of money, and that basically is where the story begins. But in the house she meets this guy called Alex, who we also see the perspective of, and he basically becomes Jess's love interest, but I think it's kind of like a unrequited romance type story, or at least that's the impression I'm getting so far. But basically I'm really enjoying it. It's super interesting. I thought because it was a dual narrative story that we'd get basically like one chapter Jess, one chapter Alex, one chapter Jess, one chapter Alex, but actually it's been kind of random. We've had quite a few Jess chapters and only one Alex one, so it's kind of interesting that the story has definitely skewed more towards Jess's perspective so far. But basically I went into this book hoping for a like trashy Hallmark film in book format, and I think that is exactly what I'm going to get. Although I'm not super far in, that is definitely the vibes I'm getting, and I'm just really enjoying it. The one thing that stuck out to me as kind of surprising was the fact that I kind of just read the blurb and assumed that the characters would be in their like early to mid 20s, but actually they're in their 30s, which kind of just surprised me. But as soon as I kind of clocked that myself, I realised that I'd seen this book obviously in Em and Jacqueline's try a chapter tag video that they put up last week, and they both mentioned that as well. But as soon as they said it, I kind of just forgot about it until I read it for myself, and then I remembered how I had just presumed the characters would be younger. But aside from that, I'm really enjoying, well, not really aside, that's not taking away from my enjoyment, it was just surprising, but basically loving the book. And I'm also hoping that over the next couple of days I'll have a bit more time to show you some festive stuff, and of course keep you updated on my thoughts on this book too. Good morning guys! So it is now Thursday, but I feel like this week has just flown by. It's been super hectic and I honestly don't know how it's already nearly the end of the week. But yesterday was actually a really nice day at work because we got Christmas donuts, which, let's be honest, always makes a Wednesday way better. But now, as I said, it's Thursday and it's actually the 12th of December, which means that it is the general election day here in the UK. So Jay doesn't have work this morning and I do, but I've got time before I need to set off, so we're going to go and vote before I have to go to work. So it's now Thursday evening, which means it's also the start of my weekend because basically I had some holiday days left to use, so I basically just decided to book all of the Fridays off in December because I had to use them up before the end of the year, and that just seemed like a really nice prospect because now every week I get to come home on Thursday evening and know that I'm done with work for the week and I've got a 3-day weekend, which is just lovely, especially leading up to Christmas when everything is just so hectic. It's nice to have a little bit more time to chill, and this week in particular I'm super happy because technically I'm taking part in the 'Tis the Season holiday readathon this week, but reading has not been a priority because work and everything has just been so hectic, so I'm really looking forward to finally sitting down this evening and getting on with some more of We Met in December. I'm about 110 pages in at the moment, so clearly it's not been a priority for me because I think on Tuesday I was like 70 pages in, so I've not managed to do much over the past couple of days, but I am enjoying what I've read so far and I'm looking forward to finally sort of like sitting down and properly getting into it this evening, along with probably a hot chocolate or a cup of tea or something like that. But yeah, side note, nothing to do with reading or Christmas or anything, but I've just been in the shower and I just wondered, does anyone else really like finding shapes in things that don't actually exist? Like obviously like in clouds, but also whenever I'm in the shower I always find myself looking at the like marbled tiles and I always like spot things that are just like wiggles, but to me they look like other things. Like I found a snowman, a slug, an old lady, a man holding a glass, and I think there's something else as well, but basically I just love finding shapes in things. I just wondered, does anyone else do that or am I just weird? Let me know if you do it as well so I feel a bit better about myself. But yeah, for now I'm just going to grab a hot drink and get started on some reading. Hi guys and happy Friday. I am just getting ready to go out for a Christmas dinner with a couple of friends from work because we're all off work today, and I'm super excited because we're going to Toby Carvery, which typically you probably wouldn't assume is a very good place to go for lunch if you're vegan, but they've actually got a lot of vegan options, and I think as long as you let them know that you need it to be vegan, they can also make all of the like vegetables and side dishes from the carvery vegan as well. So basically it's a super great place, a surprising great place, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I've got my antlers on, so basically it's Christmas. Well, not to shock anyone or anything, but after what can probably only be described as a pretty disastrous week in terms of reading progress, I have a Friday evening with absolutely nothing planned, and so I'm hoping to just sit down and read as much of We Met in December as possible because last night, as you might be able to guess from my lack of updates, I basically did no reading. I was sat up with Jay watching some of the election results, I was doing some work on the computer and stuff, and I just never ended up picking the book up, which wasn't brilliant, but I'm hoping this evening, or in fact not hoping, this evening I am gonna read more of this book. So yeah, we'll catch up later when I've hopefully got some more thoughts on the book to share with you all. Good morning guys, it is now Saturday and probably to nobody's surprise, I actually ended up reading a whole hot 0 pages of We Met in December last night because I was in all good faith planning to sit down and read, but then Jay decided that we wanted to watch Apocalypto because he wanted me to watch it, so I did, but that took like a good couple of hours, and by the time that was over I was pretty much ready for bed. So basically terrible booktuber over here, but you know, we'll get some reading done this weekend. I'm 100% sure that I'll get some reading done this weekend. I am ideally hoping to finish the book completely this weekend, but we'll see how that goes because I'm only 100 pages in so far. But yeah, for now we're heading into town to do some Christmas shopping. I'm wearing my most ridiculous Christmas jumper, which I absolutely love, but wish me luck because it's now like midway through December and town is going to be hectic. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, heading into town for some Christmas shopping. Okay, so we just got back from town and in one way it was kind of a successful shopping trip. Not in the sense of having bought many presents, because in all honesty I only bought one person's present, but it was successful in the sense of I decided that online shopping is definitely for me and I'm just going to do all the rest of my shopping online today because I hate Christmas shopping in town. It's just so stressful, and particularly today it was bloody freezing. So basically I'm super glad to be back inside and I'm about to go and make some soup and toast for lunch, which is exactly what I need to warm up, and then I'm planning on having just a nice cozy festive day doing some more reading, because today, although I'm actually taking part in the 'Tis the Season readathon this week, I'm also doing the cozy little readathon as well this weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to get quite a bit of my reading done as well. finally got on with some reading, and I'm honestly actually quite glad that my reading pace has been quite slow this week, because obviously I haven't done so well with my reading prompts for the like 'tis the season readathon, because I started out with this book on day one and I haven't even finished it yet. However, now that I've managed to make it into the cozy little readathon, I'm actually super glad that I'm still reading this book, because in my opinion this is like the ultimate cozy read. It just seems like so fluffy and festive and lovely. It's not actually super Christmassy, but it's basically just like a super fluffy romance, and I don't read these kinds of books very often. I usually go for more like issues-based contemporary books if I'm going to read a contemporary, and this one kind of doesn't really have that, but it's still just really interesting and compelling. I love the characters, and it's just like a really nice heartwarming read, so actually it's kind of like the perfect book to read for this like cozy readathon, because it just totally fits the main prompt for the readathon, which is to read a cozy book. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm hoping that I'm actually going to be able to finish it this evening, and then I might even be able to fit in another short book for the readathon tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. I don't want to be too over ambitious considering how the rest of the week has gone, but for now I'm currently on page, I think, just over 250, so I managed to read about 140 pages just then in that little reading session, and I'm just about to go and jump in the shower, and then I'll get some more reading done after that. Okay, so I'm just about to make some dinner, and I'm actually super excited about my dinner this evening because I was in Sainsbury's earlier and I came across a couple of like new vegan things that I'd not seen before that I'm having for dinner tonight, and I'm really excited to try them. So the first one was these like vegan raviolis. It says that they're chickpea and lentil. I don't know what the flavour inside them is. I feel like probably just like a garlic and herb type one, but I really love like vegan ravioli. I had it at a restaurant a few months ago, and ever since then I've been obsessed, but it's not something that's super easy to find, so I'm really looking forward to trying these ones. And then another thing I'm excited to try is these Vivera vegan meatballs, because I've never had vegan meatballs. To be fair, I didn't eat meatballs very often before I went vegan, but now I've definitely not had them since going vegan, so I'm looking forward to trying these with like a tomato sauce and having them alongside the ravioli, so I'll let you know what I think of them once I've made it. Okay, so I'm going to give one of the vegan meatballs a try, and I honestly have no idea what to expect, so give it a go. Looks pretty cool though, I think. Kind of like IKEA meatballs to me, so I'm just stalling to let them cool down a bit because they look pretty hot, but that is actually a lot nicer than I expected. I'm really looking forward to dinner now. Yeah, they're really good. Big thumbs up for me. Yay! It's a little bit after 10 PM and I just finished up reading We Met in December, which was a lovely cozy read, and I'm super glad that I actually made myself sit down and get right into it this weekend, because I feel like the problem I had this week was that I was only managing pages here and there and I wasn't like fully getting into the story. But this weekend, or today really, when I just sat down and properly got into it, I just absolutely loved the story. Like I said, it's a super like fluffy romance, but it also had some like interesting themes about kind of like deciding whether or not you're too old to go for something new, and kind of realising that it's never too late to try something different or to take yourself on a different path, and I really liked that message. So overall it was a really fun romance. I loved it. It was super festive and cozy and lovely, and yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's not super Christmassy, although there's definitely a theme of like the characters who are involved in the romance meeting in December. It's not necessarily a book that has to be read at Christmas time, because most of the story takes place over the following year, so it's not actually a Christmas specific story. So even if you pick this up at any point in the year, I'd still highly recommend it if you are interested in kind of like a nice light-hearted romance, because this was perfect. So that means I've at least read one book for the 'Tis the Season holiday readathon, which is, you know, somewhat of an achievement. So I'm pretty pleased that I managed to finish that. But as I said, it's like 10 PM now and it's Saturday evening, so I'm going to finish up Vlogmas week 2 here and start up week 3 tomorrow morning. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this week. I feel like it's kind of been a weird, disjointed one, but there's been some fun festive things in there as well, so I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.